my channel. And pause. There's too many of y'all watching and y'all don't comment, and it makes me feel some type of way. There's also too many of y'all watching and y'all not even subscribed. I'm not understanding. Like, y'all checking for me, but y'all don't like me, so y'all don't subscribe. Like, wagwan, like, what's going on? But anyways, it's okay. I'll sip my wine while I cry. Today, we are going to be talking about generational wealth and essentially why the Black community is poor. Now, I really, really hate it when people come at Black communities, especially like Black Americans or Haitian Americans or just any one of the Black essence, and they're always like, oh, you guys are undisciplined, you guys are poor, you guys are this, you guys are that. And it's just like, I understand we're in 2020 and we have way more resources now, but at the same time, there's been a fuck ton of things that have happened that have pushed us back tremendously and continue to push us back today. I am a tremendous believer in everyone pulling their own weight and trying to overcome all adversity. And I definitely have to say that one reason the Black community is poor, so to speak, is because have no hope. I feel like a lot of Black people have lost hope. I feel like a lot of us have lost faith in the fact that we will get better. And it's kind of exhausting, and a lot of you watching this may not understand because you probably come from either a privileged background or you're probably not Black American specifically. But it's crazy because most of my African American friends or Black American friends, whichever term you want to use, will tell me straight up, like, I'm just tired. Like, it is what it is at this point. A lot of people feel very angry, a lot of them feel tired, and most importantly, a lot of them do feel hopeless. When you have been stripped of everything, okay? People are calling you ugly, people are calling you dumb, people are saying you can't do anything, you live in an impoverished neighborhood where the education is trash, where their opportunities are very, very slim, where people are getting shot up every day, where cops are out here doing anything they want to the citizens of the community. You end up being very, very hopeless, and you genuinely feel like you cannot get out. When the rent is the most affordable in an area where you literally have no choice to be at, and you want to move to a better area and it's like literally almost double what you're paying, you are kind of forced to stay where you're at. Now, I do agree that there are programs and people should just, really, really try to get out of their situations. But I understand that for a lot of people, this is just genuinely not possible. One main thing that a lot of people don't talk about in regards to creating generational wealth is cryptocurrency. And specifically, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. If you guys do not know about Bitcoin, you guys need to get into it. It's one of the most popular cryptocurrencies right now. And what annoys me is when I heard about Bitcoin and when most people heard about Bitcoin, they didn't take it seriously, okay? A lot of us just was like, this is some crap. It ain't gonna go nowhere. And it's funny because anyone who invested into Bitcoin when it first started is virtually a millionaire now. I have friends who are literally millionaires and they're like not even 25 yet. And they're millionaires off of Bitcoin. And yes, they're all Black. Oh no, one of them's white, but most of them are Black. So it's just like we need to start investing in opportunities when we see them fit, especially when they first start. Now, honestly, it is hard to tell when something's gonna be a good opportunity or not, but I feel like a lot of us need to have more faith because a lot of Black people I have seen personally like to call things a scam right out the gate, and I don't think that's okay, and I don't think that really helps us. Like, I'm the first to call out a good scam because I can recognize the shit. Like, I know a good scam. And I'm gonna tell you if something ain't right, okay? But there are certain opportunities that are actually really good opportunities that a lot of us overlook because we don't want to spend the initial money, or we just think that someone's trying to play us. People are really offering really good things that aren't multi-level marketing scams, that aren't money looms and stuff like that. Like, some people are actually offering a real good thing. With that being said, this video is sponsored by Bitlevix. Now, Bitlevix is a platform that makes it super easy and super simple to invest in Bitcoin. All you need is like $20, y'all. Yes, $20 to start investing. And when you invest, you can literally track everything that goes on every day. It tells you when to buy, when to sell. Listen, let's go to the app right now. Here is the Bitlevix platform. Super cool. And right now, this is the best time to buy, as you can see, because the Bitcoin is going down. Now, this is the thing with investments and the stock market and Bitcoin, stuff like that. You want to kind of buy it when it's going down because clearly that's because it is cheaper. If you guys want to know more about Bitcoin and investing, I'm definitely going to put more links down below. But this app makes it super duper easy to buy and sell Bitcoin. So when you scroll down, it also tells you the Bitcoin by the US dollar. Like, this is just super cool. It made it so much easier. You can also buy Bitcoin on other platforms, but this one right here, it tells you the scoop, okay? It also has recent community gains on what's going on the platform in regards to what people are buying, what they're selling. So as you guys see, it says call. This means someone just bought one. Put would mean that someone just sold theirs. Now, what's interesting about Bitcoin is you have to seriously watch this, especially if you don't have that much money in here, because if this shit goes way too low, you will lose all your money, okay? So you have to really, be educated and really look into Bitcoin and how to effectively sell and get money. But trust me, y'all, it is super duper lucrative. So as you guys scroll down, you guys will see a nice little synopsis. In case you're not familiar with the options, as you guys can see, they do have a brief guide for you that describes the options and how they work. And it's super cool because it's like so dummy proof, y'all. When I'm telling y'all, I do not know how to follow instructions, and this was super easy. So right now I have nothing active, so we're just going to buy some Bitcoin. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is. As you guys see at the top, it stays there. It says invest now. I'm just going to press invest now. It says invest $100. I ain't feeling that risky right now, so we gonna do like 50, okay? Like I said, y'all, you can invest however much money you want. It's super easy, and it already says put, and then it says profitable, regular, reactive, right? So reactive takes 1 week to mature with a 1-by-1 leverage. Meanwhile, popular is a 1-month maturity with 1-by-1 leverage. And then regular is a 1-by-2-5 leverage with a 1-month time to maturity. So to be honest, I think I might actually do reactive. It only takes 1 week versus this 1 month situation. And then there's simple, which this option is 1-by-10 leverage and 1 month to maturity. So we're just gonna do reactive because like that's short amount of time and I want some bread. And this tells you what your return would be. So I'm just gonna click invest now, confirm, and there you go. I automatically own a piece of Bitcoin now. Shit, the price for Bitcoin looking kind of low right now. I'm about to buy some more when I'm done with this video. What's really dope is Bitlevix has now offered all of their new users $100 to start in a demo account. After 24 hours, the balance can be converted to a real balance. So this is like the perfect time to go sign up for Bitlevix right now. This gives you the opportunity to see what you can gain, what you can lose, and essentially gives you the perfect opportunity to create a starting balance. So as you guys can see, super easy process, super quick. I do advise that you guys do your research on Bitcoin and how it works and learn how to trade effectively. But Bitlevix makes everything super duper easy to buy and understand during the initial process of you signing up, as well as while you are buying and selling on the platform. If you guys want to check it out, please go down in the link in my description box below and you can get started right now for free. All you have to do is put money in your account right now to start buying Bitcoin. If you are not with the whole mumbo jumbo, listen, I understand. You can invest in stocks. Now, back in the day, you needed a lot of money. You needed a brokerage or a broker in order to invest in stocks. Now, if you got Cash App, listen, when I'm telling you, I was so shocked when I figured this out. You can buy stocks on Cash App. Like, when I figured this out, I was like, yo, this shit is wild. But if you do not trust Cash App, because Cash App has a lot of fraud activity sometimes, there are other apps such as Robinhood. There's one that I used to use called Acorns. There are other apps you can use to invest, and literally you do not need thousands of dollars. You do not need a broker. You can just do it yourself. And it's super cool because even if you do sell your stocks, you can get a dividend. And a dividend is basically a piece of money that is given to you even after you have given away your stocks. It's really cool, and it's literally like having passive money. Anytime someone sends me money through Cash App, I literally just go and buy some stock with it, okay? Okay, so I got General Electric, Netflix, Antero Resources, and Tesla, okay? There are amazing stocks that you can buy into that will give you a ridiculous, tremendous return on your investment. The more money you put in, the more money you will get out, more money you risk. Okay, there are people that have been super duper successful with stocks, like literally become millionaires with stocks, like those people who invested into Amazon or Facebook early on. Like they're virtually millionaires now because they believed in Netflix and it did flourish, and now everything is going very well for them. So it's very, very important to diversify whatever you invest in, go into different niches, invest in different businesses. Again, I'm going to link a lot of resources down below in the description or in the pinned comment that's going to let you know all about stocks and all about investments, way more than I can explain to you because finances are just not my thing, okay? I'm now getting onto the bandwagon. I'm just like y'all, okay? We here. I'm just learning. I just want to put y'all onto some tea, okay? When I say poor, well, when I say poor, because a lot of people like to say it in a derogatory way, I say it in a way meaning that we do not invest within our communities and within ourselves to create generational wealth. A lot of us will just make a come up, you know, do money for us, you know, keep money for us, generate money for us, but we do not think about the future. We don't invest. We don't really start much of anything. We just save, and then we die, and that's about it. Like, that's all we have left over. But there are many things you can do to make sure that your kids have a better upbringing and are able to turn the dollars that you've made and dollars for their kids and so on and so forth. I've said this on my Haitian channel. Yes, I have a Haitian channel. Go subscribe. And I'll say it here again. The Black community may be, I guess, less financially stable than most other races. However, there are many reasons for that, and we may not be financially the best or whatever the case may be. However, we are rich in culture. We are rich in resources that a lot of people have stolen. We are rich in intellect that a lot of people have stolen. Like, honestly, just look at the list of inventors that are Black that we never ever speak about. Look at the list of people in life who were Black, who have done so many things that we have never heard about. We are a powerful force, and once we get it together, it's a wrap. That's why they try and do all of the bullshit that they do to us, because they know that we can be a very powerful force if we get it together. What people need to understand is Black people have constantly and consistently built their own shit from the ground up since the beginning of time. But white people have destroyed it. I mean, let's be real. Have y'all ever heard about Black Wall Street? Look it up. Very interesting. Black Wall Street was a hot spot. Back in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a Black Wall Street. This was a hot spot for all the entrepreneurs and business owners. What was very, very unique about this is every single thing was owned and operated by Black people. In this community was living real good, especially for the 1920s for a bunch of Negroes, as they like to call us back then. They were doing spectacularly well. They were living very, very large, and this is because every dollar that was put into their community was recycled back into the community. It took about 15 years for it to be one of America's most successful enclaves. There was about 10,000 residents, and they had businesses from restaurants to bars, grocery stores to banks, luxury shops, and offices for lawyers and doctors. Now, this is during the segregation time, so it wasn't too hard for this to happen because Black people were, you know, thrown out of regular spaces anyway. O.W. Gurley was the one who initially bought a lot of land and essentially only sold the land that he acquired to Black people, and required that anyone that started a business or anything like that would use Black merchants, Black business, Black anything, like black, okay? Really messed up is by May 31st, 1921, it was reported that a Black man had raped some white lady, you know, textbook nonsense that's never proven and is always full of bullshit just because someone happens to be Black and in the area of the time. And this created a lot of tension and a lot of disdain because, you know, Black people, when one person does something, we all get punished for it. The white people in the area refused to wait for an investigation and took matters into their own hands, protesting at the courthouses, doing the most while police sat there and let the Black people get beat the fuck up. And then eventually it got to a point where all of this nonsense lasted for about 2 days, but shit got really real when all of these white people took to Black Wall Street and literally blew it up. And I'm not saying that metaphorically. They blew it up. They set the blocks on fire. They were looting the stores. There were also reports of people who have survived to this day that will tell you there were planes, okay? Like they had planes and they were dropping like missile-like type things on the buildings. Like literally there was nothing left of the town. If that doesn't tell you that we can't have nothing great, I don't know what does. Now, I'm only saying this to point out that we've done a lot for ourselves, but people just don't want to see us be great. Now, clearly this was in 1920, now we are in 2020, and something like that would most likely not happen, but honestly, I would not put it past people at this point. After this whole situation happened, I don't believe anyone got arrested. Please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, of course, you know, all the white people just called this a bunch of Negroes gone wild and blah, blah, blah. They ain't do anything, but we all know what it is. Let's be real here. Because this is something that is like never talked about. This is something I learned about outside of school. Actually, not true. I actually learned about this in college. So it's like the fact that I didn't learn about this like in grade school or anything else is just really repulsive to me. There's a lot of history that they don't tell about us. There's a lot of things that have happened to us that they don't tell you about. Now this video is not about Black Wall Street. You guys can look into it yourselves. I will leave resources down below. The next reason, and this definitely ties in with the last two reasons, is the lack of financial literacy. There is absolutely no secret that we are not taught a lot in the Black community in regards to financial literacy, in regards to saving. We are not taught about investments. We are not taught about stocks. We are not taught about how to leverage our money. We're just taught pay bills. That's really about it. Pay your bills, maybe save some money here and there. If you want something, you buy it. That's really about it. They don't teach us about a lot of things. Like I just found out what index funds were. Yeah, you guys probably don't know what that is. I just found that out. And there's different types of index funds. And I had to find that out through YouTube and Google. And you know, it's just crazy because it's like, damn, like there's so much ways to make money in this world. And I feel like we should definitely go forth into putting more money and more resources into the Black community in regards to financial literacy. Like a lot of us don't even know the process to buy a house, and that's like really horrible. Or a lot of us don't know the process of not getting scammed when buying a car or getting a car loan, or whether buying a car outright is better than getting a finance car or even a leased car. So a lot of us end up making really horrible decisions that affect us in the long run and end up seeping into our generational wealth pool, which ends up being absolutely nothing because we've made poor financial decisions. The next thing would have to be lack of resources. Now, I grew up in a hood where thankfully I went to school in the Abbott district where we had iPads. We even had books, okay? After like my sophomore year, we had straight iPads. We had a lot of money coming in. Like we was out here. We was real lucky. However, I understand that a lot of schools in other areas are not as lucky, and that is actually really detrimental because a lot of them do not have the same access as a lot of other school districts in order to get educated on certain things, in order to get proper guidance on certain things. So it's very important to understand that you need to find these resources yourself at this point because you have the internet. If you want to know how to get scholarships, Google how to get a scholarship. If you want to know how to apply for college, look up how to apply for college. If you want to know how to get into trade school, look up how to get into trade school, how to do cosmetology, how to do, like, you guys can look this up. We need to literally put matters into our own hands and start doing things for ourselves at this point because it's possible. But one thing a lot of you guys need to also understand is a lot of people do not have access to the internet. Now, this is crazy because I did not think about this until I was drafting my notes for this. A lot of people in impoverished communities, especially Black communities, do not have access to the internet. Either they don't have the setup for it, like, you know, the local companies have never set it up in that area due to the area being high in crime, or just because, like, you know, the establishment just, you know, people couldn't afford to get it, so there's no wires there. And getting surveyed for a new cable service, I'm telling y'all, is a lot of work. I just moved to this spot, and this spot was brand spanking new. Like, literally, I took the plastic off the appliances and everything. And I wanted Verizon, and it's taking them months to just get everything together. So now I'm stuck with shitty ass Optimum. So it's like a lot of people just genuinely don't have access to the internet. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. Racism and slavery. It is absolutely no secret that racism and slavery has definitely held us back, and is probably still holding a lot of us, and it's probably still holding a lot of us back. A lot of us have pent-up aggression and definitely a lot of emotional wounds that are embedded deep inside us that I don't think a lot of us know about. Like I said, I believe a lot of us have mental illnesses that we do not want to acknowledge or take care of or know that we even have. However, I believe everyone has to make that conscious decision to want to change, to want to get that help. Broken family structure. Now, I don't want to hear anyone talk about how they are independent and they can take care of their kids by themselves and they don't need the mother and they don't need the father. We've been doing that for decades, shit, centuries, and that has done absolutely nothing for us. Like, seriously, let's be real. We've been doing this whole independent, taking care of my kids on my own thing forever, from single mothers to single fathers. There's a reason that they started separating the mothers from the fathers and everything during slavery. It is so they can keep us weak, so they can keep us distracted, so they can keep us distressed, so they can literally force us to take care of a kid or take care of ourselves on our own. But we definitely do need each other. No matter how much you hate black men or how much you hate black women, you have to admit that this whole doing it on your own thing ain't doing us any type of good. You ain't doing so hot by yourself. Let's be real. Realistically, I believe all kids need two parents. And I genuinely believe that when you deprive your kid of having those two parents, or you willingly go lay down with someone that you know is trash and you go have a kid knowing you're going to be a single parent, when you sit there and put yourselves in situations to be with trash ass individuals and have kids with them, you're putting your kid at a disadvantage. This is because this kid ends up having a whole bunch of pent up trauma, a whole bunch of negative emotions. This is not all of the time, but it happens a lot of the time. There's research to back this up. It just does not end up being a good situation. As a single person taking care of a child, it has a tremendous stress on your finances because it's only one person taking care of sometimes multiple children. And when you're taking care of multiple children and you only have one income, shit becomes real hard, and it becomes very hard to save, invest. Because why? You're focused on getting food on the table. You're focused on putting clothes on the kid's back. Shit, putting clothes on your back. You're not focused on all of this external shit, as you should not be. Because at the end of the day, you should have someone with you to carry that burden. The last one has to be overall lack of knowledge. Now, this kind of ties into financial literacy, but not really. Now, the whole situation with black people that I see lately, and not even just black people, this new generation in general, is that they want to like not go to school and not further their education and try to say like, oh, well, I can Google my information, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't understand how anyone could be comfortable walking around with a high school education, especially in America. Our education system is gross and it's very much so embarrassing. So the fact that you can lead life knowing that literally you're leading life with a high school education it should be embarrassing, because America has definitely failed us all, okay? I don't even understand how the hell the education system has gotten this bad. Like, I have a couple friends who are teachers, and one of my friends told me recently that it's actually illegal in certain places, like virtually illegal, to give like spelling tests now. And I'm like, what the fuck type of shit is this? Like, oh my God, I'm definitely homeschooling, okay? Like, it's just too much self-education going on, which self-education is fine, but at the same time, the whole point of getting a formal education, whether it's college or trade school, associates, whatever, is the fact that you have a direct source for the information. You have someone who is in your field of study teaching you this information that cannot be taught by books. Also, too many of us get our information from fucking Twitter and think that everything we see on Twitter is fact, and all of a sudden we apply that as knowledge. That is not knowledge. Therefore, that is honestly one of our biggest problems. So comment down below. What do you think is holding us back as the black community in creating generational wealth? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you guys check out Bitlevix. Click the link down below to sign up today. I kid you not, it is one of the easiest decisions you will ever make in your life. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.